is worrying. Newcastle probably could do with knocking the ball out here. He looks in quite some distress. Hanley goes back to the keeper, and they've clearly got a problem with Isaac Hayden on the edge of the area, and Jack Colback is sent out to warm up. The referee goes to see the former Arsenal midfielder. Straight away he went down and looked in a lot of pain. He's been rolling around on the floor, holding his right ankle, and after playing so well on Friday, we were pleased to see him in the team again, but this could be his afternoon over early on.
Yeah, he looks in a bad way, doesn't he? It was a tackle that he just lunged in for. Didn't. I mean, there was nothing malicious in the tackle, but he's got his head in his hands. He's just riding around a bit.
Well, having had surgery on an ankle injury, you hope it's not a recurrence of the problem that saw him miss 9 matches before he came back against Wigan, and then miss a further 2 games after not feeling quite right. The players of Newcastle and Ipswich, meantime, come over to the side of the pitch to have a drink. Rafa Benitez is talking to his assistant coach Mikel Antia. Isaac Hayden is on his feet and is being helped over to the far touchline by the physio. He's limping. And Jack Colback is still warming up. It's 0-0 on BBC Newcastle. We'll have a phone in after the game, remember, with Ando until about 5:30. You can get in touch with us afterwards. Twitter at BBC Newcastle. Text 81333, start your message with the letters BBC. Hayden is on, trying to run off that knock to his ankle. Newcastle had knocked it out, Ipswich had given it back to United. Darlow rolls it out to Lascelles. Lascelles near the halfway line. Diagonal ball for Matt Ritchie to chase is going to be too strong. Spence sees it behind goal. Kick at the other end for Ipswich. You have drawn more championship matches than any other team this season, 16 in all. They drew 6 in a row between mid-February and mid-March with McCarthy's side. This one level after 25 minutes here on BBC Newcastle. Bielkowski sends all of his kicks out to the right-hand side. Sends them all over.
No, Cobbo's gone well.
That one via the top of Spence's head. So it's a Newcastle throw, dumb it down the line. Murphy is there. Murphy loses the aerial battle again that time. Christophe Berra, his former teammate, flicks it out. Dummett then into the feet of Diarmi, and then a high ball from Dummett into midfield, but 2 Ipswich players there. Berra heads it away, Hanley down, Dummett overhead kick clear, out of harm's way, and then it drops for Shelby, and Shelby with the outside of his right foot across to Christian Atsu. Yeah, it maybe wasn't quite how he intended, but Atsu's brought it down. I thought he'd want to throw, but the decision has gone against Newcastle. It's Ipswich's ball. The left full-back position, Kenlock will take. Diarmi's just left Cole Skews, who's free to pick it up there. Now Newcastle through Atsu, get hold of it again. Atsu moving in from the right flank. Jondre Yedlin pokes it infield towards Shelby and Hayden. It's intercepted by the home team, and now Grant Hanley has to watch David McGoldrick here. The striker gets to the ball before the Newcastle defender, and then plays a nice reverse ball to Tom Lawrence on the right-hand side. Fires across into the middle, and Jamal Lascelles flicks it away, and it just evades 2 Ipswich players on the edge of the box. Now Mo Diarmi brings it clear for Newcastle and is fouled just past the halfway line. Diarmi's done well to buy Newcastle a free kick, but that ball very nearly dropped on the edge of the area for one of 2 Ipswich players.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest defensive header, was it, by Lascelles? Could have went anywhere. Fortunately, we got away with it.
Free kick taken quickly. Atsu released down the right-hand side. Ipswich get men to him. Then he sends the ball into the middle, headed away by the first man, Berra. Square, the header from Lawrence. Then Yedlin into the box, but Diarmi is offside. 0-0. That's not been great.
No, very scrappy
from either team, really. Newcastle haven't tested the Ipswich keeper. Ipswich have had the ball in the net from a free kick, but the whistle had gone for a foul. Lascelles ups it away from the edge of the box, now laid off by Ward to Lawrence, and McGoldrick, Dummett at his back, forcing McGoldrick away from goal. He turns Dummett once and then twice, and then a ball into Emyr Hughes in midfield, the Welsh international on loan from Cardiff. McGoldrick switches the play. Atsu can't keep hold of it, and it falls to Kenlock, and now Freddie Sears coming in from the left into the box. Lawrence brings it down. Isaac Hayden thumps it away and into the Ipswich half, and then a header from Christoph Berra out of play. Newcastle throw in on the right hand side.
Yeah, we haven't got a grip of it, have we?
No, that's alright. What you looking to trade for it, like?
Gateshead have scored against Lincoln in the National League. Paddy McLaughlin, formerly of Newcastle's reserve team, 1-0 there, 0-0 here. Brighton against Wigan, goalless as it stands. Brighton will all but secure promotion if they win today. Remember, 4 points ahead of Newcastle, Chris Hughton's team. And Graham Dorrans has given Norwich the lead at Preston. Kenlock under pressure from Atsu in the corner. Turns it clear. Stays in play. Lascelles gets his foot on the ball. Newcastle have it just near the halfway line. No goals on BBC Newcastle. Hayden, who seems to have shaken off that knock to the ankle. Shelby from halfway, looking to play in Murphy. It was a flat ball, but it was sliced by Berra. Unfortunately for Ipswich, it's found Jordan Spence. Spence looks for McGoldrick, who tries to play in Lawrence on the right wing, but Paul Dummett with a sliding challenge puts the ball out of play. Now Ipswich throw it to Spence, who moves square. Shelby loses out in a challenge with Grant Ward. Kenlock now 30 yards from goal on the left. Freddie Sears heading back towards halfway, but Ipswich still have it, and Newcastle have 8 outfield players behind the ball. Sears thought about the cross. Now Hughes with his left foot does swing it into the area. It comes off Lascelles and reaches McGoldrick, who couldn't get the shot under control and slices it high and well wide.
They don't get people in the box. That cross came in, there wasn't a blue short in the box. He stood on the edge of the box, and it's a flicked header that gets to him, and it just sits up and he swings the left foot at it. Never on target, never trouble in Darlow.
If they'd had players in the box, the ball could have gone in probably on 2 or 3 occasions earlier. Yeah. Darlow with the goal kick into the 29th minute here on BBC Newcastle, and it's 0-0. Matt Ritchie's now out on the right. Christian Atsu has taken up a position on the left. Hayden into Shelby, flicks it back to Grant Hanley. Lascelles near halfway, forwards to Ritchie, has a touch with his right, then with his left, tries to switch it, but didn't quite get the right angle.
Maybe it's on the balls.
That's Barnsley 1, Brentford 0. Marley Watkins with the goal there. Keeper claimed Ritchie's diagonal ball forwards, knocks it long. McGoldrick flicks on. Paul Dummett is fouled by Tom Lawrence. Newcastle free kick. Just not a great deal happening.
No,
really.
No.
It's very slow. Almost at walking pace, this match. Newcastle haven't troubled the Ipswich goal. Ipswich have gone into a couple of decent positions, but Darlow hasn't had anything to do. He takes the free kick from the left full-back position, headed away as far as Isaac Hayden in the middle third of the field. Diarmi then with another header for Newcastle. Lawrence forwards, it's over the head of Hanley. Spence with defensive header clear. Shelby then with a fairly casual header which lands on the boot of an Ipswich player. Grant Hanley, great first touch by Hanley. Pull the ball down from the sky and find Lascelles just close to the edge of Newcastle's box, square to DeAndre Yedlin, starting in place of Vernon Anita this afternoon. Anita not among the 18, but he is here at Portman Road. Here's Shelby, gets it short and gives it to Lascelles. Shelby now the furthest man back for Newcastle. Lascelles thought about returning it to him and then went forwards, sees it intercepted, gets another chance Lascelles, fortunately, and feeds Darryl Murphy, who's laid it off to Diarmi. Diarmi's got options, one of them Murphy. Murphy on the edge of the area, into Atsu in the box. Intercepted by Spence. Newcastle throw, left wing. Dummett to Diarmi. Back to Mo Diarmi. Can't get hold of it properly.
No, that's on.
Ipswich Town throw. If Murphy's ball had been more precise, Atsu might have had time to have a touch and then get a shot off, but Spence was well positioned to flick it away, and now Ipswich have a throw in. It's QPR 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2 at Loftus Road. 0-0 here on BBC Newcastle. Atsu heads it out for another Ipswich throw, this time a good 15 yards further up, quite close to halfway. Perez, Mbemba and Gamez are warming up down to our left. McGoldrick gets the ball at his feet from the throw. Spence loses it, gives it to Diarmi, and now Newcastle can attack. Darryl Murphy sees that Ritchie's available to the right. He's got Shelby available too. Shelby 25 yards out, has 2 or 3 touches, then a shot. The keeper could have thrown his cap on that. Simple for Bielkowski, but at least Newcastle have had a shot on target.
Yeah, if you can call it that. As we say, just threw his cap on it. It all came about because Ipswich gave it away, broke onto them.
Diarmi, I'd like to see him get into the game a bit more. Quiet, but he was involved in that Newcastle break a couple of minutes ago. 0-0 on BBC Newcastle. Dummett, throw in for United, just by halfway. Murphy makes a run in from the left flank, goes over his head and falls for Atsu, and it's been put behind by Luke Chambers, the home skipper, and Newcastle have a corner from the left-hand side. Matt Ritchie is going to take it. Atsu stands in the 6-yard box with 2 Ipswich players in there. McGoldrick on the near post, one by the keeper. Plenty of black and white shirts at the back of the box. Headed away by Ipswich, out to the left wing again. Lawrence nods it away from Ritchie. Shelby gets on it, plays it into midfield where DeAndre Yedlin slips. And now Yedlin as well uses his strength, went shoulder to shoulder with Grant Ward and recovered, fortunately for Newcastle, because Ward would have been in had Yedlin not made that block. Dummett now. Forwards, Newcastle have left Hanley and Lascelles up there. Offside flag is up. Ipswich free kick.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
And Ipswich have taken it too quickly.
Taking it 25 yards further forward than it was.
Yeah. Referee walking away with his back to the ball. Blew his whistle, now he signals for the free kick to be taken. As good and as positive and as intense as Friday was, this has been as flat and uninspiring, frankly. It's 0-0, 34 minutes gone.
Yeah, it's been poor.
Diarmi wins the ball back in midfield for Newcastle straight away. Ipswich have got players on him. Diarmi carries it away, but the last touch was his. And it's Ipswich's throw. Newcastle wanted a free kick. Diarmi's arguing with the referee, but the assistant flagged the way of the hosts, and they've got things going again. They throw it backwards and then switch the play to Spence on the right-hand side, the former West Ham man. Long ball up to Lawrence, who's committed a foul on the edge of the area. Free kick for Newcastle United. BBC Newcastle, radio for the North East. 10 minutes to half time.
Yeah, everything that was good on Friday night, this has been as poor, because we haven't showed the same intensity, we haven't showed the same pace, drive, desire. It's been all flat.
Murphy. Good physical battle between the Newcastle striker and Luke Chambers, but the ball goes out of play for an Ipswich throw. Spence thought about going back to the keeper. He'll go down the line now. He's about 5 yards up from the edge of the area. Lodge the ball down the Ipswich right wing. McGoldrick beaten in the air, then Diarmi down for Murphy. Murphy battling, then it gets it to Diarmi, who eventually gets it under control and heads to the byline. Mo Diarmi wins a corner for Newcastle on the left.
It's Mohamed Diarmi, not Mo.
Birmingham were in trouble while losing 1-0 at home to Burton, who are also in trouble. Good play by Diarmi to win a corner there.
Yeah, it took him a while to get it under control, didn't it? He couldn't get it off his feet.
Matt Ritchie, left-footed from the left-hand side, out-swinging corner to come in. Newcastle got players free in the back of the box. Grant Hanley slips. He tells the referee he was pushed. It reaches Yedlin, who sends it in again. Players go up for it. Drops for Shelby. Good save.
Oh, Shelby.
From a good volley from the Newcastle midfielder that was heading down towards the bottom right corner of the goal.
Yeah, good hit, Shelby. I think the keeper always had it covered. Came through a lot of bodies. Good hit.
Powerful effort.
Good technique.
Well, Shelby's had 2 shots, one of them fairly tame, that one a little more ferocious than the first. But Bielkowski with 2 saves. It's 0-0. And Darren Murphy almost winning it from Cole Skews in midfield. Play to Berra and out to the left-hand side and then down the line for Sears. But Yedlin gets there, gets to the ball, holds off his man and does really well to play it to Lascelles. And Lascelles put under pressure. And the referee belatedly gives Newcastle a free kick. Lascelles, to be fair, got the ball away to Ritchie but was almost caught.
Yeah, I'm not too sure it was a free kick. So a bit whistle happy, this referee.
Given 9 red cards this season, including 1 to Vernon Anita in the home match with Wolves in September. Glenn Murray has scored for Brighton, who will be all but promoted if they win against Wigan this afternoon. 0-0 here between Ipswich and Newcastle. And the home team have got the ball and work it nicely in midfield. They get up to halfway. Lawrence square to Ward, and now McGoldrick, who's dropped very deep.
I've just been starting to drink my bottles there, Paul. I've just started to drink my Brunel there.
He's moving around. McGoldrick drops deep. Sears goes out wide, and now
they've got no focal point. They've got nothing to hit because McGoldrick is coming that deep. He's playing as an extra midfield player, and they've got nobody up there to get the heads up.
I've a lot of them now.
Play up and play off, which suits us, to be fair.
Both forwards went out of play for a goal kick. Leeds losing 1-0 to Wolves. Preston 0, Norwich 2. Loads of goals elsewhere in the Championship. Nowhere near a goal here, either team. Hanley back to Darlow. Good distance and power on that clearance. Good header by Christoph Berra, winning it over the top of Mo Diarmi. Header by Hanley up to the halfway line. Hayden then gets his head on the ball and is down again, holding his head. He got a bang. Isaac Hayden to the side of the head, but he's on his feet. The referee was about to stop the game. Hayden got up. Ipswich have the ball. Here's Tom Lawrence, 30 yards out, left of centre. Finds Kenlock on the left. The fullback moves in, away from Matt Ritchie, diagonally towards goal. Now Emir Hughes. And now Ward gets away from a couple of black and white shirts. Good feet. Yedlin clears it. And now Diarmi forwards to Shelby. Only Murphy ahead of him. Not a great deal on for John Joe Shelby. Tries to release Murphy down the right wing, but he hasn't got the pace to get there. Christoph Berra first to it. But it is a Newcastle throw, 20 yards from goal. Ipswich looked like they were going to cause a problem.
No, nobody wanted to take it on, did they?
Yeah.
They had shooting opportunities. They didn't want to take them on.
Diarmi receives the ball from Yedlin and then loses it, but Shelby picks up the loose ball and with the outside of his right boot from inside the Ipswich half, bends it all the way back to the keeper. Darlow, though, 20 yards outside of his box. Forwards out to the left to Dummett, heads it in field. Ipswich get to the ball, though. Isaac Hayden covering, collects it for Newcastle. Back to Hanley, back to the keeper. 0-0, 5 minutes to half-time here on BBC Newcastle. Darlow, again, long ball forwards. Murphy to battle for it in the air. It's come off the head of Berra for Atsu. Hayden to Christian Atsu, left hand side. Dummett back to Atsu, lets it run across his body and then Hayden in the middle third of the field, under pressure. To Dummett, lets it run through his legs and turns Freddie Sears. Great play, great ball into the middle, and Matt Ritchie heads it into the ground and then wide of the goal. Fantastic work from Paul Dummett. Completely did Freddie Sears with the little dummy, letting the ball run through his legs and spinning, and then crossed it. Fantastic ball into a dangerous area between defenders and goalkeeper. It evaded Murphy. Ritchie got in to the box, but headed it into the ground, up and wide, when really it should have at least made the keeper work. 0-0.
Yeah, and just as we thought, the keeper knocks it out of play again. But great play, Paul. Do a great little dummy. Sold Sears down the. Sears went and got a couple of bovrils. But then not just that, he whipped a great ball in behind defenders. He's coming onto it. Ritchie, you would expect him to hit the target. He's headed it into the ground and it's bounced up and over the top.
Dummy from dummy, and that's as close as Newcastle have come from the Ritchie header to a goal. Given away in midfield. Matt Ritchie has it on the right. He's got options available to him left and right, but he's lost it. Tom Lawrence is breaking for Ipswich. Sears to his left. Lawrence wants to go it alone. He then gives it to Sears and it's in. Ritchie tried to get back to atone for his error and may have deflected the ball in, but Darlow was beaten anyway, and Newcastle have given a goal away, having lost the ball on halfway. Tom Lawrence broke into the box. I think he wanted to take it on himself, but he saw that Sears was better placed, and with his right foot from the corner of the 6-yard box has bent it past Darlow, and via Matt Ritchie it's ended up in the back of Newcastle's net. It's not been a great first half. Neither team played particularly well. Ipswich have got the opening goal. 3 minutes to half time. The home team lead 1-0.
Well, we made it difficult for ourselves, there's no doubt about it. Gave it away in bad area, they broke onto us. Didn't defend it, taking the deflection, beat Darlow. It was going to beat Darlow, all ends up anyway. But it's all of our own making, because we've given it away in bad areas, not for the first time this afternoon, but on this occasion we've got punished for it.
Well, come from behind then Newcastle. Brighton are winning, and United goal down here, and another goal, very, very preventable. They are limping towards the line. They had won 2 of 7 before this match kicked off since their 3-1 victory at Huddersfield, and only scored 6 goals in that time as well. Newcastle, 3 draws and 2 defeats in that 7-match sequence. Throw in for Ipswich in the left full-back position. Played forwards up to McGoldrick on halfway. Lascelles may have given him a little shove in the back. Referee either didn't see it or felt that it wasn't a foul. Nicely played in midfield there by Lawrence. Hughes available on the edge of the area. Freddie Sears gets it on the right-hand side. Comes to McGoldrick in the box. Danger here, just over the bar. And it was in fact tipped over by Carl Darlow because it's been given as a corner to Ipswich.
Took a deflection off Yedlin. Yedlin got on the ground. Didn't know a great deal about it. Bounced up off him and went over the top. But yet again, we just didn't deal with the cross into the box.
Players queuing up actually. M.A. Hughes was in there. He couldn't get the ball under control, although he had a touch on it, and that touch cushioned it for McGoldrick, who was able to get it under control and hit the shot. And as Ando says, I think it was deflected. I'm not sure whether Darlow might have got fingertips on it, but it is a corner for Ipswich, who lead 1-0, and it's going to be taken by the right foot of Tom Lawrence from the left. Yedlin at the near post heads it away. Good distance on the header, played back to Kenlock, the only man in the Ipswich half. Shelby is going to close down the keeper now. 2 minutes of added on time. 1-0 to Ipswich here on BBC Newcastle. Sears with the goal. It was a mad minute or so for Matt Ritchie. Had the header, the diving header from a great position into the ground and wide. Then he got the ball in midfield, lost it, tried to get back, and the ball deflected off him and into the roof of the net. Ipswich have a free kick now on the right, nearer halfway down the goal. The defenders go forwards and will await the delivery.
Yeah, goal seems to have rocked us a little bit. We haven't been able to, mind you, we hadn't been great prior to the goal. Got to do an awful lot better. He needs to get them in the dressing room, he needs to get it sorted. Performance in the second half just needs to be, the energy levels in the second half need to be so much better than they have been in this half.
Lawrence with the free kick, 6-8. Boy goes towards the back of the box, headed away by Dummett and then flicked on by Ritchie. It's now on halfway with Miles Kenlock, left-footed. The full-back goes out to the left wing. It's headed on. Lascelles thought about trying to let it run. Ball didn't have enough pace on it, so he hooks it clear. Shelby, a decent header to find Hayden in midfield. He wants a free kick, but Ipswich are allowed to play on, and now through for Sears again. Yedlin gets back to hold him up. Play back now to Emir Hughes, right-footed, shot smothered by Lascelles, and Atsu fouled, heads it away, caught late there by Christoph Berra. Newcastle free kick, 1-0 to Ipswich.
Oh, we're all over the place. We are all over the place. We just need to be stronger. We need leaders out there. We've got no leaders out there. Nobody dragging people about. It's all right going and saying all the right things and talking the talk, but then you've got to go and you've got to put it into action. You've got to pull your side around and get them together. We're not doing that. You're looking at your skipper. You want your skipper to do that. He's got to take control of situations. He's got to sort people out, and he's not doing that either.
Free kick from Darla went over everybody's heads and straight into Bielkowski, and then the referee Tim Robinson blows for half-time. Ipswich in the lead through that goal on 42 minutes from Freddie Sears. Newcastle almost took the lead at the other end. Dummett, great bit of skill, fabulous whipped ball into the area. Matt Ritchie came in round the back and from point-blank range really headed it into the ground and up and wide, and then Ritchie a few moments later had it in midfield, lost it. Ipswich broke into the box through Tom Lawrence, who could have taken it on himself but played it to Sears from about the corner of the 6-yard box. He bent it past Darlow and it touched Ritchie on its way into the back of the net. He was more than a little...
What bet did you have on this time, Mike?
But Newcastle can't be happy with this performance. As you were saying, Ando, it's been flat. They barely tested the keeper, just those two efforts from Shelby. One of them fairly tame, the other one a decent hit, good technique, but the keeper saved it. And somehow in the second half they've got to lift it. They've got to try to find the same kind of performance and same kind of tempo that they gave on Friday against Leeds. They need to.
But when you start as poorly as we have, it's very, very difficult to raise the tempo and go and get that desire and willingness. It's been poor. We haven't played with any pace. We haven't zipped the ball about. We've been lethargic in everything we did. As good as Friday night was and all the good things that we've done on Friday night, there's been none of that seen whatsoever today. It's been a poor performance.
And we hoped for so much more after Friday, where the performance was significantly better than what we've seen of late, because you said all season that, all right, Newcastle are in a promotion position, but they haven't been playing fantastic football. They haven't been blowing teams away. They've been effective without being brilliant. And on Friday they played in the way that we've wanted them to for a while, particularly at home, and you hope that they will build on that, and it just hasn't been the case.
No, it hasn't. No, and he's made the changes. He's made 5 changes. Now, when you make 5 changes, it can be disruptive as well. You know, talking to a few people who said, why not go and play the same side that finished on our play on Friday night? And I suppose you've got something in that, because there was that momentum on Friday, there was that pace, there was that desire that got themselves into a groove. And when you make 5 changes, sometimes you lose them. And that seems the case today. I mean, Atsu's never been involved in the game. Murphy hasn't seen much of it. The Army's been again anonymous, you know, so it's been poor, it really has. He needs to get him in that dressing room, he needs to get some home truths into them, people need to be told, and they need to stand up in this second half and they need to be counted.
We'll bring you the second half live from Portman Road here on BBC Newcastle. It's been a disappointing display in the opening 45 minutes and compounded by that goal for Ipswich 3 minutes from the end of the half from Freddie Sears. Half-time score, Ipswich Town 1, Newcastle United 0.
Get ready for an unmissable year of live events with BBC Newcastle.
Please go crazy, Maxwell!
Big concerts.
Live from the Lindisfarne Festival. The stage is absolutely magnificent here at Newcastle Festival.
Pavement pounding.
This is the Great Autumn on BBC Newcastle.
There is the start of the Kyoto Marathon. Heart-stopping. It's the Rose. Unmissable.
BBC Newcastle, live at the best events in the North East in 2017.
North East Sport.
BBC Newcastle, radio for the North East.
Good afternoon, I'm Michael Hamilton in the BBC Newcastle studio. We are back to Portman Road for the second half of Newcastle United against Ipswich Town. It's currently 1-0 to Ipswich. We will have a phone-in from 5 o'clock for you to share your views. Already a text in from Alan in Gateshead who says, Newcastle United, we are so close to promotion, don't let us down. Let's rattle through the other championship scores this afternoon. Fulham leading Aston Villa, a 10-man Aston Villa, 1-0 at half-time. That was a 2:45 kick-off. The others all kicked off at 3, much more sensibly in my view. Barnsley 1-0 with Brentford. Birmingham City at the bottom, 1-0 down at home to Burton Albion. It's not going well there since Franco Zola took over at Birmingham, is it? Blackburn Rovers and Bristol City goalless. Brighton and Hove Albion 1-0 up on Wigan Athletic. Goal from Glenn Murray, and they look all but promoted now as things stand. They can only be caught if Huddersfield Town in third win all the remaining games. Brighton lose all the rest of theirs, and Brighton's goal difference is also somehow overcome by Huddersfield Town's. So Brighton on the brink of promotion this afternoon. Cardiff City and Nottingham Forest are goalless. Ipswich Town 0, Newcastle United 1 as we had. Leeds United 1-0 down at home to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Norwich City 2-0 up at Preston North End. QPR 1 at Sheffield Wednesday 2, Reading 0, Rotherham United 1, and the late game this evening at 5 o'clock is Huddersfield Town away to Derby County.
Newcastle and Sunderland commentary exclusively live.
BBC Newcastle, radio for the North East.
Let's go through some of the other scorelines today. It's a bit of a strange one where Scotland aren't playing and not all of the non-league leagues are playing today, but League 1 and League 2 are. So League 1, Sheffield United beat Bradford City 3-0 earlier. That's a full-time score. Sheffield United already champions. AFC Wimbledon 0-0 with Peterborough United and Bristol Rovers and Oldham Athletic also goalless. Charlton Athletic 2, Gillingham 0. Fleetwood Town 1-0 upon Millwall. Northampton Town 1-0 upon Shrewsbury. Oxford United 1-0 upon Port Vale. Rochdale 1-0 upon Coventry City. Scunthorpe United 2, Chesterfield 0 at half-time there. Ivan Toney on loan from Newcastle United among the goals there. Chesterfield look like going down because they'll be relegated if they don't win. Southend United and Milton Keynes Dons goalless, as is Walsall and Swindon Town. Down to League 2, Cheltenham Town 2-0 up on Grimsby Town. Accrington Stanley and Crawley Town is goalless. Barnet 0, Wycombe Wanderers 1, Cambridge United 1, Exeter City 0. Carlisle United and Stevenage are goalless, as are Doncaster Rovers and Blackpool. Leyton Orient 2, Hartlepool United 1. Hartlepool United had been ahead in that one. Mansfield Town 1-0 upon Luton Town. Colchester United 1-0 up away to Morecambe. Notts County 0, Portsmouth 1. Pompey could be promoted to League 1 today. Plymouth Argyle 2, Newport County 0. And Yeovil Town 2, Crewe Alexandra 0. Let's get the latest from a couple of our local sides. Gateshead 1-0 up at the International Stadium at half-time on the National League leaders Lincoln City. That was a Gary McLaughlin penalty. And Blythe Spartans, the Northern Premier League champions, 4-0 up on Whitby Town at half-time. 2 of the goals from Luke Armstrong, who's on his way to Middlesbrough in the summer. The other goals from Dan Maguire and Dave McTiernan against his former club. It's BBC Newcastle Radio for the North East, and we're back at Portman Road shortly for the second half of Ipswich Town against Newcastle United.
When the final whistle blows, the voice in my head screams, why did we lose?
Bitter disappointment.
Can we keep winning?
This has been fantastic.
The voice in my head asks, can we go up?
Newcastle have got to go for it.
Will we go down?
There's
situation is retrievable.
What does the result mean? And what happens next?
Game analysis and the manager's reaction. BBC Newcastle Sport Bulletins. Weekday mornings with Alfie and Anna at breakfast.
BBC Newcastle, the only place for North East sport.
We're returning to Matthew Raisbeck and John Anderson in a moment at Portman Road, where it is Ipswich Town 1, United 0, and it's been an even more disappointing day, if that's possible, for Durham, who lost at home for the first time since 2015. They were beaten by 9 wickets by Nottinghamshire in their County Championship Division 2 opener. Durham's Keaton Jennings did finish the second innings on an unbeaten 102. After the match, Durham head coach John Lewis spoke to our cricket commentator Martin Ems.
Well, John, it was always going to be a tough fixture, and you're a week behind Nottinghamshire. I think it's shown. Yeah, they're a good side, and they've been the better side in the last 4 days, to be fair. Not by maybe as much as the scoreboard suggests, but they have been the better side, and just come short in a couple of areas. Looking back over it, it was that difficult first morning in those dark conditions, wasn't it, when you were out for 162?
That wasn't great. I think the first 3 innings, the new ball's been pretty key. It's been very difficult. So that first morning was probably particularly slow. Probably the 8th wicket partnership as well. Their first innings was probably quite a significant moment in the game.
a similar position.
Jesus Christ. Cheers, bro. Appreciate that one.
Second half.
Sorry about that. I must have knocked, when I was scratching my head earlier on, I must have knocked my headset and muted it. But yeah, how's it going, bro? You're doing good? Doing alright?
Here at the side of the pitch. We saw Isaac Hayden hurt his ankle.
If you hadn't have said that, I would have probably been sat there for the full second half.
Really isn't yet on the pitch, and the free kick will be delivered in by Grant Ward towards the back post, flicked on and behind goal kick.
He's kicked the goal kick. I thought that came off a Newcastle head last, but referee seen it differently.
So did most of the Sir Bobby Robson stand behind.
Glad to hear that.
It's Newcastle's ball though. 2 minutes into the second half, 1-0 to the home team. Darlow slips again. Hanley tries to clear it as far as Murphy, but Cole Skews is quickly there to head it down to Jordan Spence. And the full-back sent it forwards, but the ball doesn't stay in play. Newcastle United with a throw-in to take. Paul Dummett close to the halfway line. Some movement in midfield from Hayden and Atsu. Hayden carrying on his run, caught Christoph Berra, and it's a free kick to Ipswich. Hayden made the run from midfield to try to get onto Dummett's throw, but
just ran straight into him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Fair play to Berra. Berra's just got straight to his feet, didn't make a big deal of it.
After being poleaxed.
Yeah.
The Army. A little flick on. Ipswich pick it up again, then they give it away. Shelby gets his foot on the ball. It's a difficult one to control, but now he's managed to get it forwards to Mo Diarmi inside the centre circle. Diarmi heading towards the edge of the Ipswich box. With 2 challenges on him. Referee has brought it back for the first tackle, which was a foul. He tried to let Diarmi go, but then he was caught again. And Newcastle United have been given a free kick about 30 yards from the goal in a central position. And John Joe Shelby has put the ball down, and might fancy his chances here. 1-0 to Ipswich.
Yeah, centre. About 20 yards.
Diarmi
quite fancy this.
Diarmi picked up space, didn't he? Because Ipswich players tried to get on top of Shelby and win the ball back, but Shelby got it through to Diarmi, who could carry it and was halted illegally. Matt Ritchie's there as well, but Shelby put the ball down. 4 Ipswich players, then Christian Atsu, another Ipswich player, Diarmi, then another blue shirt in the wall. Shelby takes it, and head injury. Ball has caught someone in the face. I think it's Emir Hughes, and the referee rather frantically is waving the Ipswich physio on, and Hughes is alright, he's on his feet. A miraculous recovery.
What's the referee playing at? Shelby on the head.
Shelby took the free kick and it was straight into the wall. It's obviously caught Hughes on the side of the head, in the face maybe, you know, hit him on the nose. He's then hit the floor, and the referee, you probably heard the whistle, waving his arm frantically at the Ipswich physio. And by the time the physio had taken a step onto the pitch, Hughes was on his feet. Now, Ipswich are being ordered to give the ball back to Newcastle, which Freddie Sears does, to boos from the home fans to Carl Darlow. Darlow has a couple of touches, sends it up to Murphy. Murphy turns, ball bounced away from him. Hayden, good tackle, great tackle by Isaac Hayden. Hooked the ball back, then he was under pressure. He slid in again. Ipswich pick it up in midfield. Foul by Yedlin on this near Newcastle right. Hughes again, the player involved. Referee has given a yellow card to Hayden, to Isaac Hayden, presumably for the second of those 2 challenges a few moments ago. First one was brilliant, hooked the ball back. The second one slid in, played it off an Ipswich player, but he must have caught him late. and then they brought it forwards down the left, and Hayden, the Newcastle right back, bundled over Emir Hughes, and it's a free kick for the home team just by the halfway line. On the left, Newcastle are a goal down. We're into the 7th minute of the second half. Tom Lawrence, 27 on his back, on loan Leicester midfielder, their top scorer, starts his run up from the technical area by Newcastle's bench, floats it with his right foot towards the Ipswich right wing, comes off the head of Hughes, evades McGoldrick, Newcastle throw near the corner. Dummett to take, Perez, Bemba, warming up at the moment, good front as well. Newcastle have lost it from the throw. And Ipswich switch it from right to left. Freddie Sears, Kenlock into Lawrence, little turn to get the ball under control, trying to get away from Lascelles and couldn't. Lascelles then caught late by Lawrence, and there's a bit of afters off the pitch between the Newcastle captain and the Ipswich man. The referee has given Newcastle a free kick though, and it talks to both players, tells them to leave it out. Lawrence caught Lascelles late after he cleared the ball, having won it back from the Ipswich man. Darlow's taking the free kick from the wrong position. The referee corrects that twice. Third time. Well, is that applying the rules correctly, or is that being overly fussy?
Well, some will say it's applying the rules, some will say it's being over fussy.
It's a long kick from Darlow towards Murphy, who's beaten in the air by Berra. Flicked on by Ipswich. Lascelles having to deal with this one. He does deal with it. Away from Sears. Darlow, flat clearance, but it reaches Atsu, and it might fall for Mo Diarmi here. He's going to kick the ball in rather than let it run out of play. On the left wing, Newcastle on the attack, a little bit fortuitously, and Diarmi has drawn a throw-in, playing the ball off McGoldrick. Dummett to take, Shelby behind him. Atsu makes a run out to the left. He could get it short. Diarmi down the line. There's no other options for Paul Dummett. Gives it to Atsu, gets it back again. Then Atsu turns, does well, beats his man into Diarmi, back towards Atsu. Slid out of play by Cole Skews, the Ipswich midfielder. Another throw in for Newcastle. Dummett didn't have anything on there, did he?
No.
Burton 2-0 up at Birmingham. Newcastle 1-0 down here. Shelby gets it from the throw, cleared by Ipswich. Hanley will get to it first. Plays it to Dummett. Dummett has to go back to Lascelles, the only player in Newcastle's half. Sears forces the skipper to use the keeper. Darlow, 2 touches, then with the outside of his right boot. Gives it to Daryl Murphy. Murphy heading it down to Yedlin. Got a bit lucky there. Ball's reached Hayden. Hayden trying to chip it into Diarmi in the box. Nodded away by Ipswich. Yedlin to Shelby. Shelby had Ritchie on the right. Ball didn't reach him. It's intercepted and then cleared by Ipswich. Lascelles with a header over halfway. Shelby flicking it on, but it drops for Skews in midfield. And Hughes leaves it to McGoldrick. McGoldrick tried to play in Freddie Sears on the right wing. Dummett, well read, intercepted. And he's played in Atsu, and Atsu's now released Dummett, who's made an overlapping run, 3 in the box. Dummett with the cross, Ritchie at the back post, heads it down. Shelby is appealing for handball. Ipswich bring it away, 1-0 to the home team.
Yeah, good ball played in.
Ritchie nearly winning it back for Newcastle. And then Kenlock slices a clearance out of play. Bit better from...
Yeah, a bit more intent, a bit more pressure, a bit more intensity about it.
Yedlin with the ball in his hands. Diarmi and Ritchie switching positions just ahead of him. Diarmi gets it, heading back towards halfway though, and he plays it to Hanley, who's standing on the halfway line. Square pass to Lascelles. McGoldrick across to close him down. Lascelles straight through to the keeper.
Poor ball. Poor ball.
derby at 5 o'clock. They are 8 points behind Newcastle, who are losing 1-0 here on BBC Newcastle. Brighton will be all but promoted if they beat Wigan, and Chris Hughton's team are a goal up at the Amex Stadium. And Newcastle are putting themselves under a lot of pressure and could be setting themselves up for a nervy finale to this season. Lawrence away from Yedlin, who didn't know where ball or man had gone. Lawrence, Yedlin recovers, the ball.
I think he bounced him in the back.
Well, he went in from the side and seemed to get a toe end on the ball, but has obviously leant in, and the referee's given Ipswich the free kick.
He struggled today, Yedlin. He's been poor defensively. Mind you, he hasn't been on his own. There's a few out there in black and white who've struggled today.
25,684 the attendance, with just under 2,000 from the northeast, who will not be impressed by what they're seeing. Neither will the manager. Kolbach, Mitrovic and Gamez warming up at the moment. So the free kick just a couple of yards from the edge of the box, well left of centre though, from Lawrence again. Puts the ball down. McGoldrick jogs away. 5 Newcastle players in the wall, an Ipswich player on either end. Darlow stands nearer his left-hand post than his right-hand post. Lawrence with his right foot bends it over the bar. It was curling, but it wasn't dipping to goal kick.
No, never a chance, thankfully.
Newcastle trail here at Portman Road. Darlow slips again. And his kick goes straight through to Bielkowski. I don't know if he's carrying some sort of injury, Carl Darlow, or what, but he's looking at his studs and pulling his socks up. Just not having a good day with the ball at his feet. Free kick for Newcastle in the defensive third, fouled by McGoldrick on Hayden. Darlow comes out of his box to take it again. So the Ipswich crowd, Ipswich fans, making the noise. Don't put Darlow off though. Murphy beaten in the air from the free kick. Out forwards, fairly hopeful ball, but McGoldrick is holding on to Lascelles. It's a Newcastle free kick. McGoldrick, the Irish international, is arguing with the referee and is going to get a yellow card now from Tim Robinson.
I don't know what he's arguing about. He's got Lascelles around the neck.
Quite correctly, a free kick to Newcastle again from pretty much the same position as the last one. Jan Gouffran will be the first Newcastle player to come on. Murphy wins a header, goes backwards though. Now Shelby heads it forwards. Diarmi interested on the edge of the box. Diarmi lays in on his man. Free kick inside the D for Ipswich, who lead Newcastle 1-0 after an hour here on BBC Newcastle. An hour in which Newcastle have not performed at all. Well, Gouffran is ready.
Yatsu, you would think, wouldn't you?
Could it be Diarmi? Isaac Hayes. Diarmi into midfield alongside Shelby and Gouffran. Well, big man in Murphy up top and then Gouffran in behind him. So Diarmi drops in alongside Shelby and Jan Gouffran is on. Newcastle losing here by a goal to nil, and that's the first change with half an hour to play. Lascelles, good header, good win. And Gouffran's first touch sees him control the ball and lay it off. Dumb it down the line. If that stays in, it's a great pass for Atsu. It does stay in. He's got players in the middle. Murphy arriving, scores!
Get in!
Level. Daryl Murphy back against his former club. It always
always seems to happen, doesn't it? Players score on their return to their former stomping ground, and Daryl Murphy does that. But what a wonderful ball over the top by Paul Dummett to release Atsu. A fantastic cross by the Ghanaian. It evaded Gouffran at the near post. Murphy coming in at the back stick, finished first time with his left boot for his 6th Newcastle United goal. He doesn't celebrate. He gets generous and gracious applause from the Ipswich fans, but most importantly, in a game where they haven't performed, Newcastle are level. 61 minutes played, Ipswich Town 1, Newcastle United 1. Great ball over the top, Dummett. Super cross, Atsu. Easy, wasn't it, for Murphy in the end? Got themselves back in it. Been a bit of an improvement in the second half. Need to go on and win it. Need to go on and win it.
Daryl Murphy's only chance, and he scores. And there's no question he would have been Ipswich's main man this season. He's not really featured as much as he would have wanted or expected at Newcastle, but does seem to contribute something, whether it's giving Newcastle a focal point, making a difference when he comes off the bench, or scoring goals. His goals to games ratio is excellent. His goals to starts ratio is fantastic. 6 goals this season, and an equaliser here at Portman Road, and it could be a very important one for Newcastle as well. Shelby now, Gouffran, who helped to start that move with his first few touches. Now Diarmi,
yeah, we scored, yeah.
Ward in midfield, ball into the box, Murphy can't bring it down, Atsu slices a half volley behind. 1-1 goal kick.
Needed to come back across the ball, he went for the shot, but it's been better.
1-1 at the minute.
Ipswich, they've lost it. We've upped it a little bit.
Sun is out again at Portman Road. Ipswich from the keeper goes short, and then Kenlock plays it up to the edge of Newcastle's box. They let the ball bounce in defence. Luke Chambers then heads it away, and Berra under pressure from Matt Ritchie.
Did well.
Finds Kenlock. Kenlock gets it out of his feet and starts to move forwards. McGoldrick can't control it. Jamal Lascelles gets the ball away from a dangerous area for Newcastle. Then Shelby, hopefully forwards. Atsu and Murphy not in a position to get it under control. Dummett, maybe with the sun in his eyes, couldn't deal with it first time, hooks it over his shoulder clear. It's near the halfway line, kept in by Spence. Back to Dummett, who plays it down to Gouffran, and Christian Atsu gets on the ball in midfield. Crowded out though, Atsu does well to win it a second time, and Shelby to Ritchie, who gets hold of it, and DeAndre Yedlin keeps it in on this near side. 1-1, Yedlin knocks it past Lawrence.
How many fouls is he going to get away with?
Yedlin did well. Yellow card is out now for Tom Lawrence.
Not surprised.
Solly March has doubled Brighton's lead, so they will be all but promoted, barring a stunning comeback from Wigan. They did it against Barnsley last week, Wigan, but probably less likely to do it at the home of the leaders. Newcastle here 1 apiece. Did well to keep it alive there, Yedlin, and get the free kick, because it was a hard ball to control. Shelby with the free kick from near the halfway line, headed away by Ipswich from the edge of the area. Yedlin picks up the loose ball, gives it to Darla, who is standing in the D. There's a touch, steps back, steps forwards, and right-footed, sends it over halfway. Lascelles beaten in the air. Dummett back to Atsu. Ipswich throw on the right-hand side. 25 minutes of the 90 to go. 1-1. Daryl Murphy equalising for Newcastle against the club where he spent 5 years. Here is the throw from Spence. McGoldrick heads it down. Sears plays it forwards, looking for the run of McGoldrick, who could come in from the right flank. 2 players challenge for the ball. Grant Ward and Paul Dummett. It came off the Ipswich player. Newcastle United throwing. Newcastle need 8 points from their final 4 matches, including this one, to be certain of returning to the Premier League, but that is assuming Huddersfield take 15 out of 15. But a win here would make a huge difference and would help them get closer to getting things sorted as soon as possible. Here they are on the attack, having equalised. Yedlin on the right, into throwing. Good defending by Lawrence, who got across to prevent Yedlin from getting away. Throw is level with the edge of the area. He throws it into the box to Gouffran. Gouffran has it under control, wriggles away, and then scoops a cross-cut shot over the bar.
Non-existent tackles going in there. Should have done better, actually. He's got away from a non-existent tackle, and he's just scooped it straight over the top of the crossbar. Looks looking better.
Bielkowski, the goal kick. 1-1. Sears just before half-time. Murphy with the equaliser for Newcastle in the second half. Diarmi, who's dropped into central midfield now, heads it away. Ritchie helps it on, but out of play. Hamley gets on the ball for Newcastle from that Ipswich throw. Murphy beaten in the air, but the loose ball is at the feet of Paul Dummett now in Newcastle's half of the field. Hamley from the base of the centre circle switches the play. Oh, Kenlock just got there to flick it away from Ritchie, who was poised to control and then cut in towards goal. Newcastle throw high up on the right, 1-1.
Yeah, the young fullback, some of the starting positions he takes up are poor. Got away with that one.
Newcastle take the throw. Gouffran can't get hold of the ball, and then Grant Ward, long ball downfield. Darlow out of his box, has to deal with it. It's a flat clearance, and Emma Hughes has played it out to McGoldrick on this left-hand side. McGoldrick cutting in, then feeds Lawrence on the outside. Lawrence to Ward. Ward through for Sears. Danger here. Freddie Sears, and a tap in for David McGoldrick. Unmarked in the 6-yard box, and another mistake by Newcastle has led to a second Ipswich Town goal. Played back to Darlow, whose clearance was flat. It was sent forwards to McGoldrick, who fed Lawrence, and Ipswich worked it to Sears in the box. He was heading into this 6-yard area, and whether it was a shot or a cross, I'm not sure, but it found McGoldrick completely free, and he tapped in from close range at the back post, and having equalised, despite not playing well, Newcastle got to come from behind again. Ipswich Town 2, Newcastle United 1.
It's non-existent defending. It's just non-existent defending. It's all so simple. It was poor clearance from Darlow that started it all. And from that moment on, we never got close to people. McGoldrick is never going to score an easier goal. It's just the top end of the back post.
Dummett has to chase. Sears makes him play it, and it's a throw-in on halfway to Ipswich.
No, it's always the same, isn't it?
Are you surprised at how flat it's been and how frankly?
Look, let's be perfectly honest. Prior to Friday night, performances have been like this. They've all
I'd
been
like
like
to
this.
see a
It's not as
screen.
if
What you mean?
they'd be any better than this. You know, Friday night was a one-off. The performance was good. The energy levels were good. We've been totally back to norm today, and it's been poor.
Free kick for Newcastle. Dummett from inside his own half, looks for Atsu. Atsu has, thought he won a corner, referee gives goal kick. The ball looked like it was heading out, it started to slow down. Ipswich had 2 men back on Atsu, and they did the job. 20 minutes to go, Newcastle 2-1 down. Like I say, just if Huddersfield win, they'll be...
Some people are just haven't got a clue, do they? It's like, what the hell, man?
Huddersfield 8 points behind as it stands. If they win and Newcastle lose, it's 5 points with a game in hand. Here's Murphy. Ball headed onto him by Darryl Murphy. By Matt Ritchie rather. Murphy, good play. Held onto it and then looked to release Ritchie down the right wing. Well defended by Berra. Got to the ball first. Nice control, brought it away. Cole Skews up to Emma Hughes. Lascelles. It's there for Newcastle. Now Ritchie in towards Gouffran, who can't control it. And Ipswich have got it back again near the halfway line on the left. Newcastle 2-1 down. Kenlock goes past non-existent Newcastle challengers. Lawrence into Kenlock, the fullback, turning away from Yedlin. No foul. Newcastle clearing. And Gouffran picks it up on the right-hand side, just past halfway. He cuts in. And Diarmi under pressure from Lawrence. Diarmi's lost it. Shelby picks up a loose ball. Ipswich wants a free kick. Referee says no. Yedlin carrying it forwards for Newcastle. We're on the attack here. Chasing another equaliser. Ritchie into the middle. Behind by...
No, he's still on the bench. For some reason.
Could have gone anywhere. Could have, yeah. Ritchie with the corner for Newcastle, left-footed from the right, in towards the near post where David McGoldrick heads in clear from. Yedlin back to Ritchie, takes a touch with his left, another curling ball into the box. Again, dealt with by Ipswich, nodded away. Dummett with a header forwards. Lawrence back to Dummett. Newcastle keep the pressure on, they've left players up. Yedlin looked for a short ball into the box along the ground to Murphy. Home team got it clear. Dummett back to Darlow. Darlow a long way out of his box. Finds Matt Ritchie on the right hand side. It's turned out to be a good ball. Ritchie has got a throw in.
Hopefully not.
Off Kenlock. Yedlin will take it. Level with the edge of the area. Newcastle 2-1 down. 73 minutes on the clock.
We'll pull our heads out the backsides and we'll make the win.
Player to come off the bench, exchanges passes with Dion. Few to pick from here. The option he chooses is Shelby. Shelby on the left, just inside the area to Atsu now. Atsu trying to break into the box, beats his man, pulls it back. And Luke Chambers slices it behind for a Newcastle corner. Better. Corner to be taken by Shelby. Got to keep the pressure on Newcastle. Every Ipswich player is in their penalty area. Newcastle 2-1 down. Shelby delivers. Keeper punches it away, and it will go for a throw-in on this near side, 30 yards from goal.
Should have caught it.
Wasn't under any pressure, was it? No. Ritchie leaves the throw to Yedlin. There's only Murphy in the box for Newcastle. Gouffran comes short to get it, returns it to DeAndre Yedlin, who plays it over the head of Kenlock. Ritchie gets there and flicks it past his man and breaks into the area. Good skills by Matt Ritchie. Cuts the ball back. David McGoldrick still helping out his defenders. Flicks it clear. Newcastle throw in. Won by Diarmi off Lawrence near halfway, right hand side. 2-1 to Ipswich. Lascelles gets another throw just off Lawrence, who blocked his clearance. Yedlin on the halfway line with the ball in his hands. Shelby is short. Gouffran further in. Not a great deal of movement. Yedlin goes towards Darryl Murphy, who's beaten in the air. Then Lawrence flicks it on. Sears helps it forwards. Lascelles will deal with it. Helps it back to the keeper. Sliced once again by Darlow. Yedlin and Lawrence try to win it in the air. Neither can do so. Emir Hughes takes it on. Good recovery challenge by DeAndre Yedlin. No foul. Ipswich want one. Oh, Yedlin has then received it from Ritchie and slipped and lost it. He has recovered, fortunately, in the corner and found Matt Ritchie again. A lot of mistakes. Ritchie sees his ball forwards, charged down, all the pace taken off it, and Grant Ward has it for Ipswich. Now Lawrence tries a little flick away from Ritchie. Yedlin with a clearance. Gouffran forces Berra to head it out of play near the halfway line. Newcastle are going to bring on Chancel and Bemba. And Ipswich are going to make a change as well. Firstly, the player they brought on is Josh Emmanuel, a young defender, and they've taken off Miles Kenlock, the left back. Straight switch. Newcastle had Mbemba ready by the side of the pitch, but he hasn't come on. Is it going to be Gamez? Gamez is being waved back to the bench. United have taken a throw, they've got another one. And you see Jesus Gamez, Newcastle 2-1 down. Mo Diarmi on the ball near halfway, heading backwards. Lascelles has a couple of touches, moves forwards. Goes up to the edge of the box where Gouffran gets on it, into the corner. Ipswich defender at his back. Gouffran trying to get turned under severe pressure. He's done well though, the Frenchman, to hold off his man and keep hold of the ball. 1-2 with Matt Ritchie. Gouffran then slips, and Ipswich have got a covering defender, and they get the ball clear. Throw in for Newcastle.
How do they keep slipping, like, what's going on?
2-1 to Ipswich on BBC Newcastle. We're not going to see Mbemba, we're going to have Jesus Gamez instead. And Gamez will come on for DeAndre Yedlin.
I think Yedlin struggled today, I really do. Defensively, I think he's been cut out.
Gamez takes over from Yedlin, who was about to take the throw. They make Gamez walk on the pitch and then walk back off to take the throw. So put the ball forwards. Now Newcastle work it back to the keeper from Hanley to Darlow. Another flat clearance, but it's found Christian Atsu, who takes it nicely.
No, we've only got one substitution left now.
Nearly slips. A lot of Newcastle players have lost their balance, lost their footing today. They're 2-1 down United. Lascelles in room in the Ipswich half of the field. Diagonal ball towards Atsu, it's over his head. Shelby will keep it in though, just by the corner flag. And you can't find Dummett, it's a throw in for Ipswich. And we're not far from the final 10 minutes on BBC Newcastle. Phone in to follow 01912326565. They're making hard work of winning automatic promotion. Newcastle 2-1 down here. Atsu, good play between Atsu and Gouffran, but then they lose it. And here go Ipswich through Ward, and McGoldrick released right hand side. Only Sears ahead of him. McGoldrick.
No, I don't. Like, before the match, the commentator was saying obviously like 5 changes. You should have just kept the same team from the last match on the Friday, because we still would have kept the momentum.
6th goal for United. Started 6 championship matches, though one of his goals was in the FA Cup, remember. Murphy. Now Ritchie. Tackled by Emmanuel. Gamez wins a throw for Newcastle. Gives it to Lascelles and gets it back again. Sends it over halfway. Shelby, the furthest player forwards. It's come down to Gouffran, who's chipped it out to the left wing to Atsu. Takes it on his chest, 20 yards out. Knocks it past Spence. Good defending. Slides in, Spence. Flicks it up off Atsu. Goal kick.
Yeah, very good defender by the young fullback. Looked like Atsu had done him, but he slid. Got a block on it. Knocked it back off Atsu. Gone behind, goal kick.
Ipswich Town 2, Newcastle United 1. BBC Newcastle. Text 81333. Start your message with BBC to send Ando your thoughts on this match, the promotion battle. Alexander Mitrovic is going to come on for the final 10 minutes.
Good time.
From Bielkowski. Lascelles, good defensive header, won it over the top of McGoldrick. Now he plays it along the ground towards Murphy, but the Irishman can't get there, and Berra gives it to Bielkowski, who slices it off the outside of his left foot.
Poor ball by the centre back. He knows he's right footed and he knocks it onto his left foot.
It's a throw in to Newcastle. Matt Ritchie is coming off. Alexander Mitrovic is coming on. Caused problems when he came off the bench at Sheffield Wednesday. Mitrovic, can he do the same here? Can he have the same sort of impact? 2 up top for Newcastle. It's what many fans tell us they want to see. Will it make a difference? Newcastle 2-1 down. Another throw in. Further forwards this time. Gamez. Long throw into the box. Flicked on by Mitrovic. Hooped clear by Emir Hughes. Lascelles. Then wins the header from McGoldrick, but gives it straight to a blue shirt. Then they play it over the top. Lascelles gets there and does well to prevent the corner and find Jesus Gamez, who gets turned and with his right foot.
No, I don't know. Doesn't make sense, does it?
Emmanuel from Ward. Hughes chipping it into the box. Hanley across. Gamez has a touch with his left. Then another one with his right. Chips it down the line only as far as Emmanuel. Newcastle can't really get out of the corner.
I suppose
with a 2-1 lead and on the ball.
Shelby would probably be pushing them all up, innit? Because we've got two up front, so out and Shelby would be playing there, and then Diarmi would be playing where Shelby would be playing.
They can go along now, Ando.
That's on the left, you know.
Just get it in there.
Yeah, well, they've got 2 big boys up there. Just get it into them, let them go and battle it.
2-1 down Newcastle, 7 minutes remain. Ipswich have it on the ground in Newcastle's half. Lawrence looking for McGoldrick in the box. Too strong. Behind it goes. Newcastle's last 10 away league matches on a Monday have ended in defeat. That includes Blackburn away on the 2nd of January this season. Last 10 away league matches on a Monday have ended in defeat. They are 2-1 down here. Brighton winning 2-0 against Wigan. Will all but secure promotion for them. McGoldrick on the right hand side in the area. Oh, Darlow! Last gasp action by the goalkeeper, who may well have been partially sighted because of the sun shining on him. He's had to tip it over for a corner. I think he was caught out by that cross-come shot from McGoldrick, and like I say, had to act with not much margin for error.
Moved his feet well to be fair. Yeah, he moved his feet quickly, got something on it, pushed it over the top.
Corner from the left, right-footed. 6 minutes remain. Newcastle losing 2-1. Corner beats everybody. Goal kick. Really had the ball in the last couple of minutes, Newcastle.
Stupid though, we start the season brilliantly.
And the 2 goals they conceded.
It's the last quarter of the season. We just
therefore very preventable. Losing it on halfway.
something happened as usual. Same thing happens every season.
Straight back to Ipswich for the second. Mitrovic. Chambers at his back. Newcastle fans on the far side thought Mitrovic was being held. They've got a throw in rather than free kick. Left wing. Dummett will take it after Ipswich make a change, which sees David McGoldrick replaced by Tommy Smith, central defender for the central striker. Well, we're going to pull one back at Brighton, so maybe it's not over there. Newcastle have got 5 minutes plus whatever's added on to at least equalise and get something from this match. 2-1 down. Huddersfield at Derby at 5, remember. 8 points behind Newcastle, the Yorkshire team. Dummett about to take the throw in. 3 black and white shirts in the box. It's towards Mitrovic, who loses the header. And Spence with a high clearance. Grant Hanley lets it bounce, then comes to meet the ball second time around. Jesus Gamez
so you were just
challenging with cold Skews on the Ipswich midfield man.
See, like the team's not what it was years ago when I was younger. So,
Substitute left back.
like,
To Lawrence,
they just
past themselves.
need to actually. It's not the fact that they don't play together well. It's just that the fact that they get injured all the time. Once one player gets injured, that like demoralises the whole team. And that's obviously that's been happening year after year after year. It's just don't know what's going on, you know.
Lawrence playing it forwards for the run of Sears. All the Cells hasn't spotted him, and there's then. Wow,
how lucky is he? I tell you what, he is unbelievable, the things he does and gets away with. He's unbelievable.
I thought when the referee blew his whistle, he was going to give a penalty there. It's a free kick for Newcastle. The Cells back to Darlow, who's out of his goal. The ball put the keeper under unnecessary pressure. He's got it away to Murphy on halfway now. Diarmi to
No, not 3-1 now.
When the ball next goes dead, we'll talk about that heart-in-mouth moment. But it was, again, reckless defending by Newcastle. 3 minutes to go, 2-1 down. Atsu trying to turn away from Spence, who's played him well and cleared it. He didn't realise when Lawrence played.
He never realises, that's the thing. He never knows that people are around him. He doesn't sense danger. He does it week in, week out.
Caesar carried on his run into the box, and he just stopped and then suddenly had to act and lent in on him. I was sure they were going to give a penalty, but fortunately Newcastle got a free kick. Throw it into the box, headed out. Diarmi heads it square, away by Lawrence. Lascelles forwards. Shelby trying to flick it on. Mitrovic needs to get there. Mitrovic gets to it. Mitrovic! Deflected effort behind. Did well, good strength, and he's won a corner for Newcastle. 2-1 down, 2 minutes of the 90 to go.
Delivery needs to be good. Big boys are in there.
Every Ipswich player back in the box. Tom Lawrence coming off for Brett Pittman, who helped Bournemouth win the championship 2 years ago. Teammate of Matt Ritchie then. Ipswich running the clock down. Newcastle running out of time as they chase an equaliser here. 01912326565, the number to ring BBC Newcastle on. John Joe Shelby to take the corner kick. As Ando says, the defenders are in there, lots of holding and pushing and shoving going on inside the 6-yard box. Every blue-shirted Ipswich player inside the penalty area. Shelby's delivery is high to the back post. Hanley, and the keeper claims it. Looping header from the central defender. An easy take in the end for Bielkowski.
Yeah, just looped the header up in the air, didn't he? As you say, easy take for him.
Emmanuel brings it forwards. Penalty that's drawn Lincoln level with Gateshead in the National League 1-1. Newcastle 2-1 down here. We're into the final minute of the 90. Darren Murphy had equalised, but then another mistake by Newcastle led to a second Ipswich goal. Hanley brings
Hopefully
it
we can bring it back.
Chips it away, doesn't get very much on the clearance. Now Gamez, good skill. Caught late, free kick, foul by Pittman, the man who's just come on. And we're going to get the numbers board now. Rafa Benitez, I think telling the fourth official, plenty time up. Yeah, he was unhappy there were 5 minutes on Friday. It'll take 5 minutes now. 2-1 to Ipswich. Gouffran. Last touch off him.
Oh, the linesman didn't want to make a decision. It's right in front of you, man.
Mick McCarthy ran out of his technical area. It is 5 minutes. 5 extra minutes. Newcastle 2-1 down here at Portman Road. They've got time to get an equaliser. Yeah, Mick McCarthy ran out of his technical area.
Everybody could see it, but it's right in front of these guys.
They're out of form, Newcastle, but they're still in an automatic promotion position where they could really do with getting something from this to ease the nerves. Ipswich have another throw-in. 4.5 minutes of the additional time to be played. Ipswich 2, Newcastle United 1. Thrown forwards by Emmanuel, out of play. It's a goal kick. And they might as well send themselves forwards for extra height. Darlow goes short to Gamez. Every Ipswich player was retreating, and Gamez saw that, and he switches it from right to left towards Atsu. Mitrovic flick on. Murphy interested. Gateshead 1, Link 2. Turn around on Tyneside in that National League match. Murphy. Now Shelby gets on the ball. Left wing. Atsu just ahead of him. 3 in the middle. Atsu turns. Has it on his favoured left foot. This is where he likes it. Atsu. Has he won a corner? Yes. On the left hand side for Shelby to curling towards goal with his right foot. BBC Newcastle. Newcastle failed to win any of their last 3 away matches. Would be delighted just to equalise here. Shelby in towards the near post. Easy diving header for Emmanuel, the first man. Flat to deliver. Shelby takes the throw in. Back to Gamez. Has a touch. And then a good ball into Dummett in space. He gets turned. He's going to deliver with his left. Good ball in by Dummett. But a foul in the box by Mitrovic. And then it's an Ipswich Town free kick. 3 minutes of the 5 that were added on remain. Newcastle are losing 2-1.
Well, it hasn't been great, that's for sure.
It gives hope to Huddersfield, maybe even Reading, who are 9 points behind Newcastle. But the way they're playing, the fact they'll have to score twice to win this match. Before today they'd won 2 of 7, it'll be 2 out of 8. Not playing well, not getting results, not really scoring goals like they were. Sears now for Ipswich. Pittman. Dummett throws himself into a challenge. Pittman crosses, and a right 60 news! And Ipswich Town have put this one to bed. In added on time. It's been a disaster. This match, as far as Newcastle United are concerned, and they are putting themselves under serious pressure as far as automatic promotion goes. Emir Hughes with a fabulous finish, powerful into the top corner with his left boot. There goes any hope of a comeback and a point. 94th minute, Ipswich Town 3. A very disappointing Newcastle United 1.
Well, game, set and match. The defending today has been so schoolboyish. It's been shocking. It really has. Give credit to Roy Hughes with a great volley. Left foot coming onto it, just rifles it past Darlow. Newcastle, tell you what, next 3 games you find out how much bottle this side has got now. You really will.
I said a few minutes ago, it gives hope to Huddersfield, who kick off at 5.
Oh dear, oh dear.
3 points now. Ipswich win it back from Newcastle. Mistake by the Cells and Diaby, and wide by Grant Ward. The final whistle.
The Cells has had an absolute nightmare.
It's not the only one, but it's been a troubling performance by the skipper and indeed 1 or 2 teammates. Newcastle have a throw in, 30 seconds left by our stopwatch. BBC Newcastle 01912326565. Lascelles forward. Murphy rises, beaten in the air. Ward on his chest near halfway. Hooks it over his shoulder. Pittman heads it on, out of play. Newcastle throw, 10 seconds of the 5 additional minutes to go. They got back into it at 1-1 through Murphy's tap in. And then they gave away a bad goal. And after it went 2-1, they didn't really threaten to get an equaliser. And Ipswich made it safe in added on time through a 3rd goal. Emir Hughes, the scorer. It has been probably one of the flattest Newcastle displays this season. And at a stage of the campaign when they know 3 points could take them to within touching distance of a return to the Premier League, they serve up something that, as I'm sure Rafa Benitez will tell us, is simply not good enough and leaves more questions than answers, and certainly will help engender a feeling of anxiety amongst many of the Newcastle supporters because Huddersfield kick off in 5 minutes time at Derby. They can go 3 points behind with a game in hand. They are by no means assured, Newcastle, of second spot, and they lost Orlando by 3 goals to 1.
Yeah, been well beaten in the end. I mean, it was poor. It was a poor performance, there's no doubt about that. There's no tempo, no rhythm, no anything about it. And as I say, we'll find out how much bottle this team has got, because they've been well beaten today. They've made the changes, but they've been well beat. You know, performances of play haven't been great. We've seen a big improvement on Friday night against Leeds, but we couldn't see that out. Our defending at times leaves an awful lot to be desired. And it'll be Preston next Monday at St James's will be a real nervy night for us. Of course, depending on what the result is at Derby this evening.
Some of the Newcastle fans in the away section on the far side making their feelings known to the players who are all now back down the tunnel and off the pitch. Some of the Ipswich players milk the applause from the home fans, but we said how good they were on Friday, and of course how frustrating it was to concede that late equaliser. But one good performance, as you have correctly pointed out, doesn't cover up the fact that they haven't been playing well for some time now, and 2 wins out of their last 8. They haven't won any of their last 4 away matches. They have scored 7 goals in their last 8 games. The statistics don't look good, and what we're seeing in front of us is a team that is not performing cohesively, that is not performing at the level that you would perhaps expect of a side second in the table, and that seemed odds on for automatic promotion. Brighton will surely win the title now. I believe they've won 2-1 against Wigan to all but secure promotion. They just need another point, but goal difference will surely do it for them, even if they lose every game between now and the end of the campaign. They have a bit of margin for error, Newcastle, but they've got to be better. Preston at home, Cardiff away, and Barnsley at home on the final day of the season remain.
Yeah, they've got to be better. They've got to show how much they wanted. They've got to dig deep. They've got to go and perform. And even if you're not performing, you've got to go and you've got to battle. And you've got to try and dig results out. At times today, we didn't do any of those things. We didn't work hard. We didn't close people down. We weren't hungry enough. They wanted it more. You know, that's a sad indictment for a side that's going for promotion to say that somebody in mid-table wanted it more than you did. But that's a fact. Anybody who was here and watched it will see that Ipswich Town wanted it more than we did. And that's a very sad statement to make.
For it to follow on BBC Newcastle, do give us a call. We'll bring you post-match reaction as soon as we get it on the radio, and you can find it on Twitter at BBC Newcastle, Facebook BBC Newcastle, Total Sport. Newcastle no further forwards. They could see Huddersfield close the gap on them to 5 points. They are about to kick off. Final score here at Portman Road: Ipswich Town 3, Newcastle United 1.
Joined by Grace Victory, an award-winning vlogger, your videos attract over 23 million total views. This is amazing, by the way.
Mid-mornings, Lisa Shaw.
It's difficult being a young person nowadays, but you know what? It's difficult being a parent.
Parents, when they've got their own, don't really teach self-love. How do young people love themselves if no one's teaching them?
So what advice do you have for parents?
Give them a way to open up to you and spend quality time with them. I think just being honest and open is like a really good way to engage with your child.
Mid-mornings, Lisa Shaw.
Back tomorrow morning from 10.
BBC Newcastle, radio for the North East. North East Sport.
BBC Newcastle, radio for the North East.
Afternoon everyone, I'm Michael Hamilton. It's just gone 5 o'clock and the lines are open. You can give us a ring with your thoughts on Ipswich Town 3, Newcastle United 1. How worried are you after that defeat? How bad did that performance sound to you? Did Rafa get it wrong? Are you blaming the players? Benitez, of course, made 5 changes from the team that drew against Leeds United. but I thought played so well on Friday night. 01912326565 is the number. 01912326565, and you can speak to myself and John Anderson, former Newcastle United defender, who's still at Portman Road in a moment. You can also text us 81333, start your message BBC, and we're on social media at BBC Newcastle. The other scores in the Championship this afternoon: Fulham beat Aston Villa 3-1. Ryan Sessegnon, who's still only 16, makes me feel old, among the scorers for Fulham there. Aston Villa had their top scorer Jonathan Kodja sent off in that one. That was a 2:45 kick-off. The rest all 3 o'clock. Barnsley 1, Brentford 1, Birmingham City 0, Burton Albion 2, a really meaningful one at the bottom there. Blackburn Rovers beating Bristol City 1-0. Brighton and Hove Albion all but promoted and looking more and more like Championship champions after a 2-1 win over Wigan Athletic. Cardiff City 1, Nottingham Forest 0. Ipswich Town, as you heard, 3. Newcastle United 1, despite a goal from Daryl Murphy against his former side. Leeds United 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, means Leeds slip out of the playoff places due to other results. Preston North End 1, Norwich City 3, QPR 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2, Reading 2, Rotherham United 1, and the evening game, as you heard, they are kicking off at 5 o'clock, and it's one we've all got to keep an eye on. Huddersfield Town away to Derby County.
Newcastle and Sunderland commentary exclusively live.
BBC Newcastle, radio for the North East.
Before we get to your calls and to more thoughts from John Anderson, let's do League 1 and League 2. So League 1, the champions, Sheffield United earlier beat Bradford City 3-0. Wimbledon and Peterborough United drew 0-0. Bristol Rovers 1, Oldham Athletic 0. Charlton Athletic 3, Gillingham 0. Fleetwood Town 1, Millwall 0. Northampton Town 1, Shrewsbury Town 1. Oxford United 2, Port Vale 0. Rochdale 2, Coventry City 0. Scunthorpe United 3, Chesterfield 1, a result that means Chesterfield are relegated. Ivan Toney, on loan from Newcastle United, could have done with him playing for Newcastle today maybe, with a couple of the goals for Scunthorpe there. Southend United 1, Milton Keynes Dons 2, and Walsall 0, Swindon Town 0. In League 2, I'll quickly go through these. Cheltenham Town 2, Grimsby Town 1, Accrington Stanley 1, Crawley Town 0, Barnet 0, Wycombe Wanderers 2, Cambridge United 1, Exeter City 0, Carlisle United 1, Stevenage 1, Doncaster Rovers 0, Blackpool 1, Leyton Orient 2, Hartlepool United 1, Mansfield Town 1, Luton United 1, Luton Town I should say 1, Morecambe 1, Colchester United 1, Notts County 1, Portsmouth 3, which I think all but promotes Pompey back to League 1, Plymouth Argyle 6, Newport County 1, and Yeovil Town 3, Crewe Alexandra 0. Gateshead in front of a record crowd of 3,770 at the International Stadium today. I believe it's the biggest crowd that they've had there, despite that actually being live on TV this afternoon, have lost 2-1. They had been ahead at half-time. They lost to the leaders, Lincoln City. And Blythe Spartans, a stomping win for them in front of nearly 800 at Croft Park this afternoon. They beat Whitby Town 5-1. 2 goals for Luke Armstrong, who's on his way to Middlesbrough. Also among the scorers, Dan Maguire, Dave McTiernan against his former club, and Matty Pattinson, who I learned today is a former South Africa international. Every day's a school day. And the Northern League, only a couple of fixtures today, but I'll give you the scores anyway. Northern League Division 1, Guysborough 1, Mask United 3, Consett 4, Penrith 0, and in Northern League Division 2, Billingham Town 0, Billingham Symphonia 0. So, Newcastle United beaten by 3-1 at Portman Road by Ipswich Town in the Championship. Your thoughts? 01912326565. Text us on 81333, start your message BBC, or write to us on social media at BBC Newcastle. Still at Portman Road, former Newcastle United defender John Anderson. And John, first of all, let's start with the starting lineup. 5 changes from Friday. Did Rafa get it right?
Obviously not. He ended up getting beat 3-1. You would say that no, he didn't get it right. We know that he likes to chop and change. He likes to rotate the squad. He made the 5 changes today, and you would say the players that came in let him down. Apart from Murphy, who scored, I thought Yedlin struggled. I thought the army was poor. I thought Atsu set up the goal, but apart from that, he wasn't really involved in the game. You know, so all in all, it was a poor performance. Defensively, we were all over the place. They wanted it more than we did, and as I said to Razor at the end there, Michael, you know, we're going to find out an awful lot about the character of this side in the next 3 games, because next Monday at St James's against Preston, there's going to be an awful lot of nervous people sat in that stand, and they'll be wanting the players to go and perform, and they're going to have to do that because they were poor today, they really were.
On that note, text in here from Carol, we have hit our worst form at the wrong time of the season. The players lacked the bottle. Many fans who know the club better than the pundits predicted this and were ridiculed. It's going to be a huge choke and we will lose in the playoffs. It's not that bad, is it?
Look, a lot of people were getting carried away because we were winning games. We were winning games, but we weren't playing well. We haven't been great all season. Don't let people think that because we were winning games that the performances were good. The performances haven't been that great. And it's caught up with us now. You know, it's caught up with us. And the manager has got to take some of the responsibility for that. You know, he's the one that picks the teams, he's the one that sends them out to play. Somewhere along the line, he's got to take responsibility for them.
Let's talk to Gordon, who's a Newcastle United supporter. What did you make of that this afternoon, Gordon?
Good evening, gentlemen. And I know I'm going to get panned by loads of people, but Rafa got it totally wrong again. And the last few games have proved. I love Rafa to bits, and I don't want. You know, it sounds awful because you want him to be our manager, but you know, he brought in players who we thought would fight for, you know, to get us out of this league, and most of the time they have. But tonight they were, well, hang on a minute, against Sheffield Wednesday, the last few away games have been absolutely terrible. I mean, why did he keep, you know, I know he is captain, but why did he keep, you know, faith with ourselves? He's been an absolute useless again today. And I know people say they have a bad game, but I tell you what, as a fan, and I'm a 16-year-old, I've supported him through bad times, you know, and yes, you think, but those players seem to think they've walked it. They haven't walked it. You know, Huddersfield at the moment are on an up. We're on a down. We will be lucky to stay second and not and avoid the playoffs. And I tell you what, I would dread to think if we're going to the playoffs, because those players just aren't up to it at the moment. They've got no fight. Can they fight it? No, I don't believe they can. I actually think they're weak. You know, they really are weak.
Well, yeah, I said during the first half, you know, it's time for leaders to stand up. It's time for your skipper to stand up. It's all right, Gordon, coming out and saying all the right stuff, and supporters going, oh yeah, he's passionate about it. He loves it. He's saying the right things. He's doing this. He's doing that. But you've then got to go and back it up on the pitch, and we haven't been able to go and back it up on the pitch lately. You know, when you were looking for people to get into people and have a go at people and get people going, we had none of that whatsoever today. None of that whatsoever, and we were well beaten in the end. And I said it at the end there. We'll find out an awful lot about the character of this side, and I mean we're relying now on Derby County to do us a favour, you know, and that shouldn't be the case. We shouldn't be relying on anybody. We should be well prepared to look after ourselves and get results ourselves. But we're relying on other people now to help us out.
I'll tell you what's really sad about it is that we you know, people say we're walking it. Yes, we're in a great position. Players doing well. But how much is it down to Rafa changing things so much and all that? I don't know. But I tell you what, you know, you look at Huddersfield at the moment, they'll be loving it tonight. You know, they really will. And I really do think we'll struggle now, because when you look at the home performances, you know, we hope the away performances, what we've been good at, would do some good, but they haven't. I mean, that was terrible today from the beginning. We were just, you know, I'm sorry, at the moment, there's nothing. Yes, we're in that position where we should get promoted, but I'm sorry, at the moment, I don't feel like we will.
Gordon, thanks for giving us a ring. I'll read out a text here from Mark in South Shields. He says, oh dear, 11 defeats in the Championship shows this team just isn't that good. We are very lucky to be even in contention for an automatic promotion place. Dreadful. And Alan Gate says, does anyone in the current Newcastle United side want to play in the Premiership? Kevin's a Newcastle United supporter. Good evening, Kevin.
Hi, you're right. John, I spoke earlier in the week there about saying that if we didn't go up as champions, I believe Benitez had failed.
Yes.
After the Leeds game, which I know we played well against Leeds, but we gave at 1-0, you've always got to punch a chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
They didn't kill the game off.
Yeah.
They didn't. You can argue they didn't against Leeds and 4 on target. And that's it. And we gave them a chance.
Yeah.
And they took it.
Yeah.
So you can argue that I believe, to be honest, John, that you deserve what you get. And we didn't kill that game off the other day, and we haven't killed this league off. We went to Ipswich today and showed a lack of bottle, a lack of fight, a lack of strong mental. You know, I'm absolutely furious, to be honest with you, John. And we will struggle now, and you've got to start saying Benitez, in my opinion, has failed, and so have the players, because I think that's an easy league. I don't buy into this rubbish that it's a tough league.